You're creating content and hoping that it builds an audience that buys. But what if you have it backwards? What if the fastest way to grow an audience of buyers has nothing to do with posting content? In this video, I'm sharing the exact Notion system that I use to make sales without needing a massive audience on social media or YouTube. We'll look at what changes when you build your foundation before you create content, how Notion becomes your business engine instead of just a place to store notes, and the specific tactic that helps you to attract buyers instead of browsers. By the end, you'll see exactly where to focus so that you can spend more time selling and less time chasing. So first, let me show you what changed everything for me. I spent years posting everywhere. I was posting on Instagram, I was sending email newsletters to my 10 email subscribers, and I was posting videos to YouTube, and they were bad videos. Thinking that I would magically attract all these new buyers and people who were interested in my offers. I was exhausted, and people weren't even interested in my content, let alone my paid offers. Then I happened to hear Lizzie Goddard mention how she grew her audience through collaborations, and something clicked at that point. Content wasn't supposed to be the top of my funnel, it was supposed to be a step down from that. So I applied for my first collaboration and got accepted. And then I panicked because when it came closer to the time to deliver, I had completely forgotten what I had said in the application form, what I said I would contribute, what the specific dates were, and exactly what promo was required as a contributor. It was mortifying. So I ended up emailing the host and asking what I had put in the application form. But to avoid that happening again, I built this Notion system because I never wanted to scramble like that again. I wanted to be organised and on top of things so that people wanted me to be a contributor.
So this is my collaboration planner, which I've made available for free, and the link is in the description. So what I can do with this is when I spot a collaboration I want to apply for, I can add in the details. So let's say this is a summit that I want to apply to. I would put the summit name here and I would fill in the application deadline there and then to make sure I don't miss it. So let's say the deadline is on the 28th. I can put more information in here, or the link to more information. So if they've got a page where they've got all the information about the summit and what you need to do to apply, I would put that in here. I'm just putting my website in for now. And I would probably just put that much in, and I would select what type of summit it is or what type of collaboration it is. Then I have that showing here, and I can see upcoming summits here, and I can see application deadlines here. So I can see that I've got that deadline coming up on the 28th. Then I can come back in when I have time to actually apply for it, and I can add more information. I can add the dates of the promotional periods that I would be expected to promote. I can also use this notes section to maybe put in the topic that I have decided on once I've decided on it. So I could put my topic details here, and I can use this space at the bottom to actually plot out my presentation and outline it and put anything I need to research in here. And I can just, so this is split out in order. So all the kind of information's up the top, links to information, link to important dates. Then we've got more detailed dates, so launch date, promotional date. Some summits or podcasts would be interviews, so you have the date that the actual interview's happening, if it's being pre-recorded, if you're doing a presentation, when that's to be ready by. If it's a bundle, when your product's to be available, or a freebie swap. And so you can just keep tabs of all of the information. So that's kind of how I set this out to make sure I didn't have any embarrassing moments like that first time. And I can view upcoming collaborations at a glance with this feed. I can see my application deadlines too quickly. So that's kind of how this system got started.
People who've opted into your world through a podcast that they've heard you interviewed on, a guest speaking gig you've done in a membership or community, a summit talk you've given, or a bundle or similar that you've contributed to. And then you can nurture them from that point on with your content. And once you have it organised in Notion, it's much easier to have this as an ongoing strategy moving forward. But you might be wondering, why does this work faster than just creating content? So I'll give you an example from my own experience. My first collaboration got me 300 new people onto my email list. If I tried to get 300 people to sign up to my email list from my organic content, I would have to have a lot more people than that watch my content or read my content, and then a small percentage would actually go through and sign up to my email list. So that would have taken me years if it had ever happened at all. But showing up in a collaboration where lots of people were coming together and hosting this bundle, I was getting lots of other people's warm audiences, and I got 300 people on my list over the course of 1 week. And that's the difference. With content, you're starting from zero, you're hoping the algorithm picks up your stuff and shows it to your existing followers, let alone new people. Then you're hoping that someone stops their scroll and looks at your content, and then you're hoping that they take the action to go from your content and either comment below your post or go find the link somewhere, click on it and sign up for your free thing. With collaborations, you're borrowing credibility. The host or the multiple contributors, they all have audiences who trust them already. And so therefore, by virtue of you being associated with them, they're going to trust you quicker as well. So it's about finding those places where people are already paying attention. But here's where most people mess this up. They get in front of the audience, they grow their email list, but they still don't make sales. So how do you make sure that you're attracting buyers instead of people who are just going to browse and pick up all your free stuff? So after my first few collaborations, I noticed this exact thing happen to me. My free bundle collaboration, that first one that I did that got 300 subscribers, well, I don't think any of them bought anything from me. I wasn't fully tracking it at the time, but that's how it seemed. And then I did a summit presentation, and at the time I was really disappointed with how that summit worked out for me because I only got 5 people onto my email list. But those people, or more of those people, did buy from me, and they bought more expensive things. So on face value, the bundle seems like it's the more successful collaboration, but when you're looking for people to buy, it actually turns out that the summit was more successful. And that's when I realized that not all collaborations are built equal. So in my experience, free bundles tend to attract people who are looking for freebies, whereas people who attend summits, listen to podcasts, attend sessions in communities or memberships, they tend to be actually more likely to be action takers and more likely to invest in your offer. So I realized at this point that I needed a way to measure which collaborations were actually going to be best for me to do going forward.
But what I set up with this are ways for me to measure what's working and which collaborations are more worth my time in terms of attracting people who are going to buy from me as opposed to just looking for freebies, for example. So this is my Collab scorecard, which is like a paid version of the free system I showed you already. So the top is very similar. So if I pick this example that's already filled out, you can see I can put all the information in I showed you already. What I can do is I can put in a link to my product or freebie that I'm wanting people to sign up for. So if I was doing a podcast interview or a summit, I would probably share a freebie link. So that is not a real freebie, but it'll do. And so I pop that link in there, and providing I've filled up this top information that this is a paid bundle and I've got the name of the bundle, I can then, this will all show up down here. So you can see it's creating a source code or UTM link that will then show up on something like Google Analytics if people click through to that page. So I can measure how many people are coming through to my freebie sign up page from this specific freebie. So I've got my link at the beginning, and then it says this is a paid bundle. The UTM is Digital Product Launch Bundle, so that's the name of the campaign, and it's a collaboration. So I can track that later on down the line to see who's clicked through from this particular collaboration. I can also track lots of other data, so I added all this on after I created my initial planner, so that I can track if how many email leads I've got, how many people maybe purchased a tripwire if I've got that set up, what my revenue is from a tripwire. So that's if someone buys something off the back of signing up for a freebie, they are brought immediately to a sales page where they can buy something. If I got any affiliate sale income from that collaboration, so bundles and summits tend to often sell something on the back end of people signing up for the free bundle or summit, and usually collaborators get an affiliate link where they can earn a percentage of that income. So any income you've earned from that would show up here. We have our total revenue, so that's just adding up your any tripwire revenue and affiliate sale income. And then you can decide what you want to pay yourself on an hourly rate, but this like across the board what your time is worth and how long you spent on it, so that you can then work out the cost of your time and then how much that actually costs you per lead, the value of each lead, is that profitable, what is your profit, and conversion rates as well. So you can see this in great detail. So I kind of added all that in, and that allows me to then, on the paid version of Notion, any paid plan, you get charts. So I can see charts of how many email leads I've got by type. So I've got free bundles, paid bundles, summits here. And then I've got the actual name of the collaboration here and how many leads were brought in. Then we've got our revenue by collaboration. We've got our cost per lead by collaboration. So that's factoring in the cost of your time. And then we've got email leads by type. So this is actually the same information as these charts here, but this is broken down for the free Notion plan, so you can get the same information. So you can see free bundles, we've got 935 leads, paid bundle 847. This is just dummy data, so please don't read anything into it. And summit leads 930. And the same here, this is just split out by collaboration name, and you can see the number of leads. And again, revenue by collaboration, it's working it out exactly the same way. It's just showing you it slightly differently because charts is a paid feature.
I like to be armed with information. Otherwise, I tend to lose confidence and start to think that I'm not cut out for this entrepreneur lark. So now when I'm choosing collaborations, I'm not just looking at how big the audience size is and how many people I'm likely to get on my list. I'm looking at the quality of those people in that audience and are they likely to be buyers or browsers. So it's not about doing more collaborations, it's about doing the right collaborations with people who are already looking to invest in solutions. And you can only know that when you're tracking it. The link to sign up for the free Collab tracker is in the description below. It's the foundation piece and the best place to get started. Now, when I pitched to speak at my very first summit, I had no idea what I was doing, but I used Notion AI and I was accepted to that very first summit I applied to. I'll be sharing exactly what I did in this next video, which may be available to click on by now if you're watching this a few days after this video has been published.